We are running the brand new Dread Mob detachment from the brand new Ork Codex. If you know me, Dread Mob is definitely in my wheelhouse. So here's the list. Chose Big Mech in Mega Armor, Big Mech with Shock Attack Gun, which is the Warlord, as per usual. Mech, Weird Boy. I opted to take the Teleport Blaster on the Big Mech instead of the Custom Force Field because I was going against World Eaters and they don't shoot that much, so I thought maybe a little bit of extra shooting or lack thereof, but in retrospect, it didn't really do much. So Big Mech and Mega Armor was attached to a brick of 5 Mega Knobs. Shock Attack Gun was attached to the Looters, as you do, and Weird Boy goes with unit of boys. Just 1 unit of boys, 5 unit of Gretchen, Gorkanaut, Toucans, Looters, Mega Knobs, Morkanaut, Storm Boys, and Warbikers, 3 units. Mission was supply drop, sweep and engagement, sweep and clear, so we had sticky. So the boys was just an extra thing. Representing the Low Rollers Club, Baron Von Crump, running a Dread Mob. Each of those models have taken like 8 hours. And we are actually up against Korn, World Eaters, including Angry Ron himself. Game time. Let's do it. I ended up getting first turn. I moved everything up, got stuff on objectives, and I was able to snipe out his Forge Fiend and his Mauler Fiend using the Looters and the Morkanaut. So that was good to just get that out of the way. Ran the Grots up to the middle objective. On his turn, he had to break through my screens, which he eventually did, and then consolidated into the Killer Cans. The Grots got charged by Berserkers, and they ended up getting wiped. But it allowed him to, it slowed him up enough that I was able to get the counter charge off. The Grot screens were crucial to this gameplay. End of battle round 1. Grots have been charged and destroyed. Grots have been charged and destroyed. 2 out of 3 cans are destroyed by Angron. And this is what the board is looking like. Okay. Still engaged in combat. I had the 1 can fall back. And then I got the Mega Knobs out. Charged Angron with the Mega Knobs, with the Gorkanaut, and with the Storm Boys. We was actually able to wipe him, which was fantastic. And then we moved up after that. He made other charges into the Grots, pretty much Grots. That's all he could really get his hands on. He also was charging with his Lord on Juggernaut, who was accompanied with another unit of Berserkers. They pretty much got into the Grots and slowed them enough to keep me free to do any kind of shooting. The second turn, I had called a Waaaagh because I was in engagement range of everything. When he moved his Berserkers up, I was able to overwatch with the looters, and since because they were within range of an objective, I was re-rolling everything and wiped them. All except Karn. The Lord of Skulls charged the Grots. All the while, I was doing cleanse and engage on all fronts, which were my objectives. The looters got shot down quite a bit from the Lord of Skulls. We finally wiped Karn. Then the Lord on Juggernaut and Berserkers charged the Storm Boys and attempted to get into the Mega Knobs as well. The Demon Prince charged the other two cans. Once the Berserkers had wiped the Storm Boys, they had to consolidate toward the nearest enemy, which ended up being the Killer Can instead of the Mega Knob. So they had to go there. The Can fought back, held up the Demon Prince quite a bit. The Grots were like MVPs, man. Three. Once the Morkanaut unloaded his Grots onto the objective, they decided they wanted to get into the fight. So they started pressing forward to go see what the Lord of Skulls had to offer. At this point, the looters had been pretty much wiped with his weapons, but we still had the shock attack gun. The looters, the Megadobs rather, were on the objective, and they were getting nuzzled into the cover, and the big mech was reliably bringing back a Meganob a turn. So that was good too. At the same time the shooting was going, I chose not to pick my ability. I rolled randomly every time just to see. I didn't want to do more wounds to myself on top of what I was probably going to do anyway. The Grots did a great job of just holding the Lord of Skulls up by charging him, and he would wipe most of them, but not all. And so that really worked out well. I was able to save some of the looters shooting by using the go to ground stratagem. Just gave him a 6-up in Vone. Once the Berserkers wiped that can, they piled into the Gorkanaut. Now, he had taken fixed objectives also. He took assassinate and bring it down, naturally, as you do. So what he was able to do was, when he finally did take out the Morkanaut, he got him, killed him, and then the Berserkers got into the Gorkanaut, and they got him also. And he freaking exploded. It was great. It did D6 more wounds to everything around him, including 6 to my mech, which killed him outright. Just took him right out the game. So that was an assassination point for him. Rolled a 6, as you can see. Good times. Great times. At this point, they started moving forward. Demon Prince tried to run into the Meganobs to take them off the objective, but they were stuck in, and to be honest, they were extremely hard to shift. Spoiler, for the rest of the game, they were on that middle objective, and they would not be moved. Beginning battle round 3.
Which one is that with Alpha again? Was that the center?
Alpha is that one, so that one's going to go. It's been a massacre. A complete and utter massacre. We carried on ongoing combat with the Demon Prince. All that was left was Lord on Juggernaut. Then the Demon Prince got charged by the bikes. Did some shooting with the boys. The Grots charged into the Lord of Skulls. The Demon Prince struck back, wiped all the bikes except the knob. Then some of the Grots still survived, which is great. He ended up rolling triple sixes, so Engeron came back, but he failed his charge with the reroll. And down to his final wound, it took the big mech with shock attack gun to finally snipe out the Lord of Skulls. Such victory.
I had Angron there, I feel like I would have just struck right at your character.
Right.
God.
Good stuff, man.
So here's a disclaimer. I was rolling exceptionally well this game. My opponent was not rolling nearly as good. My saves were spiking. My rolls for hits and stuff was spiking. And man, I love the Dread Mob.